If you've ever
So it's been a few weeks since I've covered the World Economic Forum, and obviously, we all need to keep an eye on what they're talking about because clearly they're grooming the world for their new world order. And all of these countries and the leaders of these countries have been put in place, have been groomed from the World Economic Forum, from Klaus Schwab, Rothschild himself, and all the other scumbags over there at the World Economic Forum who want to totally control your lives and destroy the world the way it is now. And that's why everything that's happening right now is happening. Food shortages, outbreaks, everything has their dirty fingerprints on it. Well, there's two things I'm going to show you here. Two things that they're promoting on their Instagram account that shouldn't surprise you. Well, let's start with this one. They have a toilet that will transform your poop into fertilizer. That's right. And as we know, most of these Satanists want everybody to live the way that they live. And if you actually study Satanism and the occult, these people literally love to bathe in human excrement. So why not start feeding humanity the same way that these people eat and feed themselves? They love it. And that's by turning human waste into fertilizer. This toilet I'm about to show you in this clip on their Instagram account is literally a porta-john connected to nothing. The only difference other than you taking a dump in the middle of a field, like pulling over in the middle of a cornfield and be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to get over here on the highway and take a crap. The only thing preventing that would be the doors on this, so you don't actually have to see it. But the end result would be the same. You eating, well, out of human excrement. I mean, oh boy, all this stuff that they wrap around science and saving the world. I mean, all of it is obviously witchcraft. None of it makes any sense, and it's all despicable. And of course, fertilizer is one of the things they target. I love at the end he says, "What's your big idea to make the world more sustainable?" Well, my big idea, since I'm censored here on YouTube and can't do anything, my big idea would be to shut down the World Economic Forum. That would help the world be more sustainable. We wouldn't have food shortages. We wouldn't have a great reset. We wouldn't have people owning nothing and being happy because they're under government control. And of course, that would include imprisoning Klaus Schwab, who is a criminal and an enemy of mankind. But we know that I'm not allowed to do anything. I can't even talk, let alone, unless, of course, I uprise. But that would be my big idea to help out humanity. So you see this with the fertilizer. They're always talking about fertilizer when, they're creating fertilizer shortages. How convenient. Then they can come in and tell us, well, here are solutions that we have. Since we can't deliver you fertilizer because apparently, it's really hard to get the fertilizer now because, trains won't deliver it. Ukraine, whatever finger they want to point at. So now we could just all take dumps in our lawn and then eat our human waste and get sick and bacterial infection. That makes perfect sense. How convenient. And of course, we've seen before Bill Gates and these people talking about literally using human compost as a form of fertilizer too, if you haven't heard about that. Yeah, that's right. They want to literally take dead bodies and use them as fertilizer so that you can eat food grown in the dead body. That's how sick and perverse these people are. But if you know how Satanists operate, this is what they do. Now, the other thing that they're showing, which needs to be shown, is an app that they're promoting. It's called Be Real, the new social media app popular with young people. Yeah, no one's ever heard of it. I know no one here's ever heard of it. I've never heard of it. I don't really know anything about apps, but I would hear about it because I cover pretty much anything that's in the news. I try to look at, break down, show you what they're really trying to do. And this is just a perfect example of them promoting this because, well, what they want to do with this app is you to take a picture of yourself every day. They'll text you and say, take a picture no matter what you're doing, because this will cause you not to be so vain. That's the irony here. I'm about to show you the clip. It'll make you less vain. It'll make you more in the moment instead of, posing and filtering your pictures. They want, you to take these photos so you could show them where they are. They tell you themselves to show you exactly where you are and what you're doing. Surveillance state, anyone. So what's funny about this, of course, is the fact that they're pretending to care about the mental health of people when they're promoting social media, which has caused mental health at an epic level. That's a real epidemic that we're having, or a real pandemic that we're having, is social media and what it's caused people to do and what it's caused people to become, which is almost like a new species of human. They're self-absorbed. They're stupid as can be. They think everything's a joke. And, they're not capable of doing anything on their own without Big Brother holding their hand because they're distracted by complete nonsense like the stuff you see on YouTube trending, guys taking baths with barracudas and, going through car washes with their clothes off, crap like that. And they're like, isn't that great? And they sit there on their phone all day and night. They wouldn't know how to start a fire if they were handed a Duraflame and a book of matches. They still wouldn't even know how to start a fire, let alone actually start one in a survival situation. But it's funny that they're talking about them caring about the mental health of people. And they say, what else can help us improve our mental health? Well, for starters, once again, I have the same answers before. Destroying the World Economic Forum. It'll certainly improve my mental health. Abolish it. Destroy it. Burn it to the ground. All the people who work there, put them in jail. All the governments who are working with them, put them in jail. That'll help the mental health of everyone because then it would shut down technology that is useless like this that they're promoting because they want you to be on these devices. They want you not only to show where you are and what you're doing so they can monitor you, but they also want to make you mentally insane and dependent on technology. This is another way to do it, to make you connect with technology nonstop. The app tells you to do something, you do it. Take a picture of yourself. Okay, so you're always connected to your technology. You're always around your technology. You always have it in your hand. You can't be without it for 5 minutes. That's the point of this. And of course, we know this is leading towards the technology being inside of people's bodies, which is what they ultimately want, which is transhumanism and the mark. So they talk about body shaming. I love how these are like issues. Body shaming. The real issue shouldn't be, oh, you hurt somebody's feelings based on their body and what they look like. It should be, you should create and talk to people in school about how to combat that and how to fight back and defend yourself, how to not care about those things. But we have a society now that is so soft that they can't take words because it hurts them and it makes them cry and it makes them want censorship and it makes them depressed. And really, the mental health issue, they like to point a finger at bullies and they like to point a finger at all this other stuff instead of the technology itself and the lifestyle that our governments have created with people and technology. Literally useless human beings walking around who have no functionality whatsoever, who cannot function whatsoever without their technology in their hands, which eventually, again, will be inside their body. So the World Economic Forum cares so much about our mental health that they're putting this up to tell people this is an app that, it'll really help your mental health. You don't have to worry about what you look like when you take a picture, but you have to be so self-absorbed that you need to photograph yourself every day so that, you can feel special and important and have mental health issues, right? But it shouldn't surprise us because we live in a world where the people with mental health issues are being given platforms to speak to children and to go into schools and all this other stuff, go into libraries and speak, and people who are normal, caring, concerning, God-fearing, smart, independently thinking human beings are being completely shut down because we're apparently bullies because we want to help the people who have mental health problems instead of enable them like our government is trying to do, which at the end of the day sums up everything you see going on in the world right now, living in insane times. So they're talking about two topics here. It might sound a little different than normal, right? Talking about human fertilizer. I guess not so different than normal since, ironically, the World Economic Forum is a form of human fertilizer. And we have people who involved in this place literally eat human fertilizer. So it shouldn't shock anyone, but they really just have fertilizer on the brain as if almost like they planned there to be a lack of fertilizer, which of course they'll blame on climate change as well, so that we need to find other ways to eat and have fertilizer, and they want you to use your poopy. They want people to pop a squat in their fields, drive down the highway. Oh, look, it's a John Deere plant. What's going on in the field behind the John Deere? Oh, it's just a bunch of people taking dumps. And then they have, rakes next to them. They're going to use it and plant your strawberries that are going to grow there. What? Oh, well, that's what happens on Bill Gates' farm and the other sickos and the Rothschilds and everyone else from the Bohemian Grove and the World Economic Forum and the Bilderberg meetings and all those people who attend because that's how they live again. So mental health problems. How can you fix the world? How can you make the world better? Well, they constantly are telling us what we can do. And all of it literally is satanic garbage that they're indoctrinating people with in the name of climate change and science and activism, which is just laughable. It is absolutely laughable how they've empowered these stupid people who don't know anything about anything